What's up guys, Tyler Casey here, and today I'm gonna go over some of my favorite effects to use in music videos using plugins. Make sure to check out the first video I dropped where I used no plugins and I showed you guys some of my favorite effects right in Premiere. So some of the plugins that I'm gonna be using today are Red Giant Universe and Sapphire. So those are the two plugins I'm gonna be using. If you guys don't have them and you're a student, there's definitely some good student discounts out there for you, so make sure to check those out. So I'm going to show you guys some of my favorite effects of these plugins. So let's hop into Premiere. So I got some footage here and I'm basically just going to go through some of my favorite effects as we scroll down. So to get the Universe effects, I'm just going to show you what comes in Universe. If I type in UNI, it's basically going to show me everything that Universe gives me. So one of the first ones that I really like to use is Chromatic Aberration right here. So we drag this on. I actually use this in this specific video with IamSue. And what it does is it kind of blurs out the edges and gives it this dope RGB type look on the sides. The thing with Sapphire and Universe, the cool thing about it is you're gonna be able to play with the scale and you're gonna be able to manipulate these effects a lot more. So looking at this, you can see there's master distortion. We can see how much it actually changes. The master scale, red distortion, and you can see it's all changing. You can really go in and finesse every little aspect of that effect and kind of come out with your own effect in the end. And one really cool thing is you can actually keyframe these as well. So this is one of my favorite things, is just being able to keyframe these effects. You can kind of create some really cool effects, like check it out in this video where I used mask a lot and I keyframed quite a bit. I kind of created transitions out of masking and using keyframes in this effect. So that was one of my favorites. They have a bunch of cool ones too, like this heat wave one. Kind of makes the illusion that things are on fire and kind of gives that like warpy feeling. But glow is one of my favorites too. You get this really cool glow type effect. And same thing if you want to do a transition. Let's change the threshold, let it play a few frames, and then we could actually change it down to 1 and then bring it back down to 100. Let that play through. You can do a little faster than that. Glow is a really cool one, and you can put that on text, you can put that on anything. So that's one of my favorites as well. And they have all sorts of different types of glows. They have all these presets as well, which is pretty cool. Same with Sapphire. Sapphire, once we get into that, I'll show you all the presets they have as well. So there's quite a bit. They have camera shake, which is pretty cool. Let me delete glow, quite a bit. And since this has a black frame on it, it's kind of looking a little crazy, but like, let's say I zoom in, you get some pretty cool camera shakes, especially if you're on a tripod. I really like using their camera shakes. So another one of my favorite effects on here is Holomatrix, and this one's really cool. It kind of gives like a glitchy robot type feel, and I love using it on text, and I love using it on black backdrop performances on the actual artist. So check this out. So I just duplicated my layer here, and I'm going to drag Holomatrix onto that top layer. And the cool thing is we can actually move our layer over. Let's say I move them all the way to the side, and let's say I turn that to screen. The cool thing is now we have two versions of him, and it kind of gives a glitchy version to the other person. There's all sorts of cool presets and things you can mess around with on this one, like the color, the frame rate, all sorts of stuff. So you can see there's all these options up here. I'm gonna pick this green one right here, and then it changes to that. Almost looks kind of night vision, but you can really play around with these. I'll show you what it looks like on text as well. So now we play that, you get some really cool effects with it, and it's really good for just throwing on some text to give your text a little bit of texture and movement. So it's a really cool one to play around with. Another one that's similar to this that you guys have probably seen, if you guys don't know the name of it, it's called Ecto. This is another really good one that Red Giant offers. Ecto is super cool. It kind of gives, let's go through some of these presets. It gives anything that's like a PNG or separate, it gives like this outer glow to it. So this looks super spooky, super cool. And the cool thing about this one is, well, this is a really bad example, but you can see he's masked out right here and you get the little outer glow. I did this on a video that I did with Combat. It's a really cool effect, especially when you cut people out in Photoshop and whatnot. You've probably seen it in a lot of popular music videos. It's great for text, it's great for this is kind of similar to our Super 8 pack. The only thing I don't like about Retrograde, it takes a lot of computing power, but you can see it adds a cool 8mm type effect. So you can definitely play with that one. That's a cool one. A really popular one is VHS. I love this effect. You know, you get those cool VHS effects, you get all this dope stuff. There's all sorts. You can even get the really bad tracking. You can animate all these. Like This isn't really super popular music videos as well. I'm pretty sure that G-Eazy video with Halsey, they used the Universe Red Giant effect. You can kind of see the same line on the side from the actual plugin. Cool thing about this one too is there's this super popular transition, VHS type transition. You can customize that as well. So there's tons of possibilities with just one of these packs. I'll show you a few more from Universe and then we'll hop into Sapphire after this. AV Club is another one of my favorites. They have some really good text stuff as well. So let's say we have some text. I'll show you guys up here at the upper right for some reason. And AV Club is a really cool one. It kind of gives your footage like this old, shaky type look. You've probably seen a lot of these if you've never heard of these packs. So that one looks really cool. I love using those for titles. Super customizable. Just adds a little bit more texture and depth to your scenes. Another cool one is Luster. Let's check that one out. And this one kind of gives you that like glossy type look to your text. You can definitely play around with these. You can have lots of fun with these. This is a super cool pack as well. Kind of gives your footage that like, kind of gives your text that glossy, shiny type feel. So that's another cool one. So yeah, that's pretty much it for Universe. Those are just some of the ones that I use quite a bit. So let's hop into Sapphire now. So Sapphire is S_, so this is everything that comes in with Sapphire. To be honest, I haven't dug that deep into Sapphire, but I'm gonna show you guys some of the stuff that I do like with Sapphire. What I will say about using these third-party plugins is it does add a lot of stress to your computer. It's gonna make your edit a little bit difficult. I've had a lot of trouble exporting a lot of the time, so just be ready for that. Everything's not gonna be perfect and smooth. You're probably gonna have to end up upgrading your computer. So just be warned, don't think everything's gonna be perfect once you get this pack. They have a pretty cool Distort RGB in this one. Pretty trippy stuff, and they have load presets. You can actually save your own presets in this one as well. Their glow in this pack, you can actually finesse it a little bit more. I like this one more. The presets are really cool. They all have a really cool look to them. There's definitely a lot more in this pack. This pack is a lot more expensive, but if you are a student, you can definitely get it. They have all sorts of like rendering stuff as well. They have clouds and whatnot. I do kind of like these JPEG and digital damage stuff. They kind of have a cool look to it as well. I also like this kaleidoscope effect right here. It has a nice like fluid look to it, so you can actually play around with this. So you can actually rotate these and you can actually change the scale and whatnot. You can move. This is a really cool one. I did this on a video and I animated it in and out and kind of made transitions like I was saying before. So this is a really cool one and you can kind of play around with that one. I really like the kaleidoscope feature in this one. It's actually cool for drone stuff as well. If you shoot drone footage or like B-roll footage, it looks really cool in that kind of stuff as well. This one has loads of stuff. TV jammage is pretty cool as well. I really like that effect. I used that on some black backdrop stuff before as well. Has a really cool like glitchy TV feel to it. A little bit different than Universe's VHS. They have some pretty cool stuff in this time folder as well. This one is cool. Jitter frames, let's play that. So this one kind of has like that wobbly, kind of like those glitchy GIF photos that we see all around Instagram. This is kind of like that. It's a pretty cool one. I like playing around with time and whatnot. So that's a cool one. You kind of almost can create like GIFs with it. And they have some really cool transitions in this one. So I like the dissolve bubble. This one is pretty cool. It's kind of like a dissolve glitchy type thing. They have dissolve glint rainbow. There's all. So that's pretty much it. There's way too much in Sapphire for me to show you guys, but definitely those are some of my favorite things in that specific pack. Universes, I would definitely say start out with Universe and then get Sapphire if you guys feel like you're ready. I kind of used everything in Universe that I could, but I'm still always finding new things in Universe. And then I got Sapphire and then I'm overwhelmed with Sapphire. So Sapphire is really cool. I definitely would check out both, but definitely get Universe. I appreciate you guys watching.